This is PPC Zone November 2024, the new foundation for PPC success. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. I use the pronouns she and her. I'm a Google Ads coach, ex-Googler, and the founder of Inside Google Ads. I created PPC Zone in 2022 to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. PPC Zone is exclusively sponsored by Optimizer, one of the leading automation PPC management suites to help you run your Google, Microsoft, Amazon, and paid social ads. Thanks to Optimizer, I can continue to bring you this live global event for free each month so we can continue to elevate new perspectives in our industry. If you want to use industry-leading tools like the PPC Investigator or Campaign Automator, start your free full functionality trial at optimizer.com. That's optmyzr.com. Next up in the zone, this speaker is the co-founder and head of AI and performance marketing at Second Banana Bunch. She has experience in SEO, SEM, and paid media channels with a strong focus in CRO, paid search, and YouTube. Today, she's sharing her perspective on generative AI for PPC. Please welcome Adrienne Shaver.
Hi, thank you, Jill, and hello, everybody. So now that Jill shared a little bit about me, I'd like to jump right into some of the topics that we're going to discuss today around generative AI. I always like to start new conversations about AI and how to use AI by just kind of going over what the role of AI is alongside our human component. So, I like to let people know that there is really an advantage when we collaborate with AI. It's a very powerful tool that can really help automate a lot of those data-heavy tasks that we have on our plates as PPC managers, if we're willing to just share some of our domain expertise and our data with it. It is not a magic solution. It's not going to give you everything perfectly the first time. You are going to have to work with it, and it cannot function on its own. So our oversight is key for AI. And as we go along with our collaboration with AI, one thing to point out is that it will become a more reliable tool for you to have in your toolkit, as well as, be able to refine its outputs to get closer to what you need contextually over time. And you can take that into your strategic decision-making conversations with clients where AI can't go with you. So I view it as a colleague that you really just need to bring up to speed and share your processes with and data, and then that can amplify what you are doing and not replace you. So now that I have that little disclaimer out there, let's jump into why we're here, which is the 3 ways for using Gen AI in PPC. I'll slow down a bit. This is how I've used it, and hopefully that after you get these recipes, you can go forward and use it as well. So our first cocktail recipe, PPC cocktail recipe, is the persona pour. And this is really where you're going to bring AI into your processes that you can take your data from Google Ads and then Google Trends data as well. Blend that together over in ChatGPT. I have found the best model to use in ChatGPT for these very data-heavy tasks is GPT-4. It handles lots of analysis very easily. So you will need a more complex prompt structure to get what you want from it. So after you've uploaded your data files to it, you're going to need to put in a structured prompt to tell it what its goal is, how to achieve its goal, and what you want from it. If you're less familiar with prompting, there are some great tools. Claude AI has a prompt generator in their workbench. I believe Gemini has one as well. And I used one from the GPT store. They have these for free, and you can find prompt makers there that you can give more simplified prompts to on what you're trying to accomplish and get that complex prompt that you need to take over to ChatGPT. So once you have that prompt, you can just paste it in and get to work with AI. It will start by showing you what it's analyzing and build out those personas for you and map where they're at. By using this recipe, you can get those actionable insights more quickly and have a better idea of where your customers are at in their journey to find those drop-off points, behavior changes, and fill in the gaps and increase that retention as they go further in their journey with you. So our next recipe is around forecasting, bringing AI into our forecasting processes. A lot of us are in annual planning right now, where we are taking our historical campaign data, modeling it against different budget scenarios. So that's how I have used it. And you just go into your ads platform and grab your campaign data. Then, of course, I always like mixing in some Google Trends data in there. There's other data sources you could as well adjust this recipe with. And then if you just want to look at how your campaigns are going to perform against industry benchmarks for certain metrics like, click-through rate, CPC, conversions, conversion rate, and ROAS, you can upload that report as well with your data into ChatGPT, and you'll give it another complex prompt, but the gist of it is that you're going to want to tell it to base its analysis off the performance data that you're giving it, the Google Trends data, and the benchmarks and what metrics you're looking for to forecast those campaign performances. Some of us might have some rough numbers, so you could even take it a step further and say, do this across my three budget scenarios of low, mid, and high, and input some rough numbers for it to work with. So you can see where the campaign performance is going to go given a certain budget, and also set more realistic goals with your key stakeholders on what you can achieve with each budget scenario for your primary conversion actions that you have set up in Google Ads, whether it be app submits or credit card signups, whatever industry you're in. So it's a very cool recipe. And with this, you can model those performance scenarios, get ahead of seasonal trends, behavioral changes, and like I said, set some realistic expectations for the new year. But our last recipe is mixing up our daily PPC management by having AI help us with scripts. Scripts is something that I always felt was just a little bit too techy for me. I understand some base code from my SEO days, but I'm not a very techie person. So I thought, why not give ChatGPT a shot at this? So I didn't just use its model. I did go to the GPT store and find a script helper that's specific to PPC industry. So it can produce a lot of different scripts like budget pacing, performance tracking, whatever we need to look at on a daily basis, it can produce that script. The secondary benefit of using AI to produce this script is that as it was putting out a code script for me, I could go line by line and start to ask it, what are you asking here? Where are you fetching data from? What inputs do you need and why? And so I'm learning the language of the code as I'm having it help me build a script that can be useful to me in my PPC management. So once I got a code, I went over to Google Ads and uploaded that or pasted it right into the box there. And with a little bit of back and forth, I did get some error messages, which I then took back to my GPT agent and had it debug in real time, tell me what this error message is and how to resolve it. And that way I know how to avoid it in the future in future scripts. So with a little bit of tweaking, I was able to get that finished successfully message. And now I can automate a lot of that PPC management that happens daily for my clients. And this really, I also let it know that I want the scripts to deliver the report in a Google Sheet, which I set up, and to have it emailed to me. So every morning I can start my day off with actionable insights to get started and start the day off right. So I hope that you will take those recipes and maybe become more curious and add your own insights on what your processes are to really get the results that can be super helpful and time saving in a lot of these data heavy tasks. But some other ways to bring AI closer into our world, and some of the ways that I did it, I've been playing with it for almost 3 years now. And so I started keeping lists of friction points in my day, gripes, daily activities that take a lot of time, bottlenecks. Label it AI or not, and then review it at the end of each week when you have time, and start to research how large language models like ChatGPT or Claude or Gemini can help resolve these, or specific tools you may need. If that's market research, Craft is a great tool for that. So have fun and play around with it. Remember to collaborate with AI. Do not try to delegate entirely, and start with your own knowledge. If you'd like to talk more about anything you heard today, or AI or PPC in general, you can find me on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adrienne, for sharing your unique perspective and insights with us in the Zone. If you'd like to connect with Adrienne, you can find her on LinkedIn. To learn more about PPC Zone and our speakers, or to apply to speak at an upcoming event, visit ppc.zone. I'm your host, Jill Saskin-Gales. You can follow me on LinkedIn to stay up to date on future events. Thank you one more time to Optimizer, our exclusive sponsor, for supporting our mission to elevate new perspectives and insights in our industry. I look forward to seeing you next time in the Zone.